Bryn's back. Let's fill her in.
We believe we found a way to activate the Loom Gate in our camp and in Glintwood Hollow.
With the Loom Gates active, we could expand our search of the Enclave. Who knows what we might find?
The potential for discovery is endless.
Agreed. So, how do we repair a Loom Gate?
What made the Enclave remarkable was not merely their constructs, but their ability to power them. It has long been rumored that beneath our very feet exists an extensive magical network known as the Tapestry. The pipe you found in Glintwood Hollow is proof of its existence. It must be a conduit that directs raw magic to the Loom Gates as a source of power.
And the tangle that formed around it was a leak.
Precisely. Our theory is that patching the rupture will restore power to the gate.
Thankfully, Seven Lane have a plan for that.
We don't know a lot about Arcs, but I dug up some old stories from logs that we inherited from a weaver band that broke apart. In notes dated before the surge, this band managed to get one of the enchanters who worked on the Arcs riotously drunk and talking.
Apparently, the Arcs have a thin carapace between their skin and their armor plates that's nigh immune to magic, and can be separated in segments. A magically resistant material like that would be perfect to seal a rupture in the tapestry.
So I need to cleave this carapace off the Arc. There's no way my sword is strong enough.
Come see me and we can make some improvements to Sola's forge. Which
Das finde ich gut. Waffen verbessern finde
I
ich
can
super.
hone your sword so we can cleave the carapace. No problem.
We'll talk.
Great foresight in removing the debris from the Loom Gates platform. We've got a clear workspace once the patch is forged.
Happy to be one step ahead.
Everyone's got a part to play in this. Let's get to work.
Hey, I know we need to fix up the forge, but before we do, I'd like to talk to you about something.
Sure. What's up?
I owe you an apology.
What for?
I've been a little cold since you've arrived, and I should have been more welcoming. I was just under a lot of stress with everything that happened.
You mean when we ran for our lives from a death cloud into a lost land?
Yeah, that. And losing supplies, and Aurea getting injured, and then having a point takeover who...
Lacks experience.
At the time, that's what it seemed like. But ever since we arrived, you've been more than proving yourself.
Ich habe
You
bloß
made
ein paar
finding
Hunde
food and water a
gekloppt.
top priority.
Und Echsen.
That's when I realized our Weaver band is in good hands. I underestimated you when I shouldn't have. And frankly, I was a jerk about it.
Nee.
It's okay, Cass.
No, it's not. I really am sorry.
Vergeben,
I hope we can have a
vergessen.
better relationship moving forward.
Thanks. That means a lot. Let's just start fresh, okay?
I'd love that.
How are you feeling now that we're starting to get settled?
If this is settled, I'd hate to see us scrambling. I have a hard time letting my guard down when there are so many unknowns. We're still missing supplies and our campsite isn't half what it should be. Can't see myself relaxing and smelling the roses anytime soon.
You know, when talking to Lane, they mentioned that you actually trained to become Point yourself. I was wondering if that had something to do with why we weren't getting along.
Oh, no. Being Point just wasn't for me. That's all.
The role of point seemed really serious to you. Can I ask why that is?
Because it is serious. If you screw up, we all die.
That seems extreme.
Okay,
Think
ja.
of it this way. Let's say we're low on food in the desert. If you scout 3 leagues in the wrong direction, we're all 3 leagues further away from food we need to survive.
Right.
Ja.
I guess I see what you mean. Still sounds like an extenuating circumstance, though.
And being the first to enter the Enclave in almost half a century isn't an extenuating circumstance.
Point taken,
fair.
I suppose. So, I know Sola mentioned improvements to her forge meant being able to hone my sword. What does that entail exactly?
Unfortunately, the missing supplies I mentioned.
Is there a way I can help you restock?
Right now, we reserve the materials you bring back for your armors and weapons, because that's the priority. But if there's anything you can spare, I can repurpose them into supplies for our campsite.
Sounds simple enough.
Glad to hear it.
Blaue wären zu 5. Wie viel braucht man? 10, glaube ich, war's.
These are a great start. With the supplies we've got already, we could shape up our campsite. We lost a lot of stuff when we were running for our lives, and frankly, our setup is only half of what it should be. But we can rebuild.
What do you have in mind?
Like we discussed, Sola could forge better weapons with improvements to her smithy. Like honing your sword so it can cut through arc armor. Alternatively, Dom could certainly care better for our mantles with new tools for weaving. And to keep you in fighting form, having Lane's alchemical tools in top form is invaluable. There's no end to the improvements we could make around here. And everyone's lives would be safer for it.
Also Waffen,
What about
Magie
you?
und
Me?
Tränke.
Oh, I don't need anything.
Come on, there must be something.
I mean, would new shelves be nice? Sure. I also have some ideas for your supply pouches. But don't worry about me.
ja.
I'm fine. Right now,
Ja,
improving
bitte.
Sola's forge is more important.
Mehr Inventory?
Kaz, don't be shy. If it's shelves you want, it's shells you'll get. We'll organize the crap out of this place in no time.
No, I don't need them. I mean, it would be nice, but I'm fine.
Come on, say it with me. I deserve new shelves.
No.
Yeah, I thought that was a stretch too. Don't worry, we'll make some improvements around here.
Thanks, Bren.
Da, was können wir verbessern? Die können wir verbessern. Das war das, was wir machen sollten. Bessere Schmiede.
Sola is delighted with it. She can refine your sword as soon as you'd like. Great work, Bren.
Turns out we make a pretty good team. This campsite will be top of the line in no time.
Yeah. We're definitely going to need to start directing a water flow to the camp. Maybe even install a fountain in the back. Would help to get a garden going in here too. Fruits, vegetables, medicinal herbs. Oh, that reminds me. We'll need the... What?
Do you ever take a break? You know, to enjoy a job well done?
Sure. Sometimes. Once there are fewer fires to put out, I'll relax. I swear.
Just try to remember, it's not the end of the world if you take a break. Someone will step in to help lighten your load.
It doesn't always feel like the others realize how much needs to get done.
Then tell them. Like how you told me we needed supplies. I stepped in to help, didn't I?
You did. I see your point.
The others will do the same.
Maybe. I'd better get back to work, but this was nice.
Da, dann Schmiede. Herstellen. Ah, das sind die Rezepte. Ah, da braucht man noch mehr geschnitzte. Resistenz, Hitzeresistenz. Aber die ist insgesamt besser. (16, 7, 12, 19), okay. Wir schauen erstmal Klingenschärfen
I
an.
knew we'd recover. We always do. Still feels nice to have my core tools back this quickly.
Still a long way to go, but we'll get there.
Speaking of, I've something for you. We've been scavenging around the way station and reclaimed a fair. They're stored away and ready for you. Should be enough to reforge your sword.
Can you also reforge armor? Improve my bow?
Sure can. Weapons or armor, we can rework them with different materials as you prefer.
Okay.
What's the key difference between reforging my gear and just making something new?
If you want gear that does something fundamentally different, make something new. For instance, there are fabrics, metals, leathers, and so on that are highly resistant to heat. A suit of armor made of a combination of those would have been incredible against the Drake you faced in the Veil's shadow. If you don't need something additional, and just want to improve what you already have, that's when you reforge. Keeps the clutter down in the caravan.
What should I expect from a reforged sword?
It depends on the materials we use. Some hold edge better, making your swipes that much more deadly. Others make your gear lighter, or, for something like armor, change the way it handles heat and cold.
Sounds like it's time to make something that can punch through arc armor.
Und schmieden. Also man kann es nicht bloß komplett neu machen, sondern man kann auch das, was man hat, verbessern. Indem man einfach die Ressourcen austauscht. Interessantes Konzept. Hitzeresistenz ist, glaube ich, super. Da haben wir einen Haufen Feuergegner gehabt. Waffenkraft. Hitze, da haben wir nichts anderes. Wie viel war es jetzt besser? Von 45. Ja, das ist doch ein
Sword and blade.
gutes Upgrade, würde ich mal sagen.
There you go. Not just good as new. Better.
Now that I can cut the carapace free, what's next?
Whenever the band is collaborating on a problem, I'm often the one to create the design, and you'll put it together with me. At least normally they're my designs. Sev actually came up with this one. With carapace and enough metal, I can forge his patch for the leaking conduit.
Any particular metal required?
No, just enough of the same type. Sev and I try to keep our designs flexible to work with whatever we've got in the caravan. Once you have everything we need, we'll forge the patch here.
Leitungsmuffe. Carapax fehlt und dazu müssen wir wahrscheinlich den Golem angreifen. Vermute ich mal. Können wir noch einen Hut machen? Nee, zu wenig. Wir brauchen mehr gewebte, mehr geschnitzte. Das sind die Sachen, die wir sowieso schon anhaben, oder? Fächer und 4 in Sicherheit. Stufe 2, okay. Frostviolen, Kälteresistenz gewähren und Flammen die Hitzeresistenz. Brauchen 20 Ressourcen dafür. Okay. Das können wir noch nicht, aber das wären dann nochmal 3 Inventory-Slots mehr. Gut, dann... Mal hin, da können wir noch nicht hin. Wahrscheinlich müssen wir... vorhin waren. Was ist denn das? Ist das mein Zelt?
your tent. Might not be glamorous, but you can rest here when you're not gallivanting on expeditions.
It's perfect.
Don't know about perfect. I could have done a better job if we didn't lose half our supplies when we passed through the Veil.
Seriously, I didn't have anything close to this in Aaron's band. Half the time I was lucky if I didn't sleep on dirt.
Ira's breath. Was Aaron running from Maid of Turdville? He sounds like the worst.
Yeah. I always knew he wasn't a great point. But traveling with you guys is making me realize how bad he actually was.
Yeah, you deserve a break. Ideally, one that involves a nap on blankets instead of dirt. I'll leave you to get settled.
Drei Slots mehr, das ist schon deutliche Verbesserung. Aber eigentlich immer noch zu wenig. Ich meine Loot. Ah, der merkt sich, wo wir waren. Also wir müssen da wieder zur Richtung eingestürzter Mine. Und sammeln unterwegs Material, was wir kriegen können. Oh. Okay. Schwert ist definitiv besser. Mal vielleicht den Kampf benutzen. Pilze geben wohl nichts. Warte. Okay. Scheint nichts Besonderes zu sein.